In this video, we are going to be looking at how to set up and launch a publication on Substack. So the first thing you need to do, if you haven't already, is to create a Substack account. Now that's really easy to do. You can do it in the app or you can do it on desktop. I'm going to do it on desktop today because it's easier to set up a publication on a desktop because it's easier to get around your settings and find the things that you need to find and add the content. But you can create an account on the app if you prefer, and you can set up your profile on the app. But we're going to do it on the desktop today. Now there's two places you can do it. You can do it here on the Substack homepage. All you need to do is go to that Get Started button there or the Create Account button up there. You can also create an account on the Substack About page, just change the URL there, and you just go to the Start Publishing button, which you'll find there. I'm going to do it from the home page though, because that's where most people end up when they start with Substack. So we go to Create Account. Now you can skip this bit for now. This is just so that it will send you ideas for publications you might want to read based on what your interests are, but we're just going to skip this for now because we can do this later in the process. So unselect all and continue. So now you just need to add in the email address you want to use for your Substack. What you might find when you put your email address in is that you already have a Substack account, and don't panic if this happens. All it means is that you've probably signed up to a newsletter that is hosted on Substack. So for example, if you've signed up for my newsletter, then it will create an account for you, but it won't fill in any of the details or any of your profile settings, so it's not a problem. So don't panic if it tells you you've already got an account. I'm going to start by using an email address that I know that is already a Substack account attached to. And as you can see, it's telling me this email is already registered. Please sign in to continue. So just click there, pop your email in again and continue, and it will send a code to your email. Once you've entered that email code, it will take you back to the home page, but this time you'll be logged in. Now, if you've never used Substack for anything other than reading a newsletter, you'll find that this image up here will probably just be a generic holding image. Mine has my profile picture because I have already gone through the process of putting settings in and adding a profile picture, etc. But what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to log back out and I'm going to sign up again using an email account that I know doesn't have a Substack attached to it. So we're back at the home page, we're not logged in anymore. I'm going to do the same thing again. I'm going to create an account. I'm going to skip this bit again. We can do that later. And this time I'm going to use an email address that doesn't have a Substack account already. So it sent me an email to confirm my account, so I'll just click on that link. So once you've confirmed your email, it will take you to this page where you tell them a little bit about yourself, and this is where you're essentially putting in your profile settings. So you can add a profile picture if you want to. Don't panic if you haven't got one that you want to use yet. You can add that later. You don't have to do it straight away. You could change all of these things at any time. Pop in your name and then choose a handle, and you can put something about yourself now, or again, you can update that at a later stage if you haven't got anything that you want to say right now or you haven't thought about your bio yet. So I've put my name in, and I've put my name as the handle, but I know that this has already been taken, so I just want to show you what happens in that situation. So I click on continue and it's telling me that handle is already taken, so it means I need to use another one. So if I try Lisa Slater 100, continue, and that one works, so that's my handle now. And then it lets you download the app if you want. You can, as I've said before, do all this on the app, but I prefer to do it on the desktop because it's just easier for getting around. Continue, and you're all set up. Start reading will take you back to that home page, and you'll see, as I said, my profile picture isn't there because I haven't set it. It's just a generic holding image. So if we go into our settings here, so you can see my handle there, Lisa Slater 100, whatever you've picked will appear there. As I've said, you can change that. So we go to our settings, and this is where we can edit it. So if you want to add your profile picture now, you can change your email address if you want to, and you can change your handle to something else if you have changed your mind and you've decided you want something else or you've thought of something better. Now it's saying I've got no subscriptions found. This is where you pick what notifications you want to receive from the app, and then there's just various other things along the way. So what we want to do now is set up a publication. We want to start writing stuff on our Substack. So if we go to start writing here and accept the agreement, we can start writing a post. But first we want to have a publication to publish that post to. So if we go back, it now takes us back to our profile, and you can see a subscriptions has appeared here, and it has added us automatically to a Substack publication. And if we scroll down right to the bottom here, we can see that there's now a new section called publications. So there's two options: create a publication or customize your Substack. So a publication is like a magazine. It gives you a kind of a basic website where you can add all of your content, or all of your blog posts, all of your newsletters, whatever it is that you want to use Substack for. If you customize your Substack, that will just be a page, a writer page, where you can also add content, but you'll just be publishing as you rather than a publication. So we'll look at that first. Lots of different settings here. You do have the option here to add a website, a publication website, if you want to, or you can just post from your personal profile. So if you click on your name there at the top, this is what your Substack will look like. So it will have your profile picture and your name and handle, and you can start adding posts there. If you want to create a publication, you can do it from this customize your Substack page here, or we go back to this page and we can create a publication. So this is where you would choose a title for your publication. Now I'm going to put a title in that I know is already in use. So this is a publication that I already know exists because it's my publication, and it's telling me this URL is taken, try another. So we want to use something that's not already taken. So I've put in make your copy count. Make your copy count is the name of my business, and it's not already in use, so I'm going to take that one. Now again, you can change that anytime, so don't worry if you want to change the name of your publication. This is where you can import a mailing list if you have one. Don't worry about doing that now. You can do that later once you've got your publication up and running, so we'll just skip that for now. Again, this is, you can manually add subscribers. Again, we're going to skip that for now. And this is again where you can pick your interests, and we're going to skip that. Okay, so now we have the make your copy count URL, but our publication is still called Lisa's Substack, so we need to change that. Don't worry about this bit. We can do all these things as we go along. This will just let you turn on the paid subscriptions, then it will ask you to add some email addresses. This will give you a link to share it, and this will take you to the writing a first post, which you can also do here. But first we want to get our publication looking the way we want it to look. Now you'll see here that you have a dashboard and you have one subscriber. Well, that subscriber is you. You've subscribed to your own publication, and then we haven't added any other subscribers yet, and we haven't published anything, and we don't have any drafts, and we don't have any posts, and there's a few little tutorials here at the bottom. So if we click onto our publication, it will say coming soon, and it just gives you a name here, and that's just, it will populate that for you. If you go to notes, nothing has been published yet, nothing in the archive, and the about page will just have this placeholder text which you can change, and I'm going to show you how to do that, but you can just click on the edit and do it there, or there's another way to get to this page as well, which I'm going to show you as we go through. Now it's worth mentioning that on Substack there are two lots of settings. You have your profile settings here, which is where we can update our profile picture and our name and all those kinds of things, and then you also have settings for your publication. So if we go to the dashboard, you'll notice there's another settings there, and this will take us into the settings for our publication. So we can do all these. If you go to your profile settings by mistake, you'll notice that this has now moved up, whereas before it was down the bottom here, it's moved up to the top here, and you can see that your publication is there. So you can click on that, and again you can take you to the settings. So don't worry if you click the wrong settings, you can come back round to the right place. So publication logo. So we've got that's our profile picture there, so that's a picture of you. But your publication logo, you might decide that you want it to be your company logo or something like that. So I'll pop in my company logo there just for now to show you. Now it's called Lisa's Substack. We don't want it to be called that. We're going to call it Make Your Copy Count. That's my company name. Done. And then you can pop in a description there about what your publication is about, and then there's all these settings down here. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to log out of this account and log back into my existing Substack, because I want to set up a new publication on that account. I don't want to do it on this one. So here I am back in my main Substack account, and you can see my profile picture is there. So if I head to my settings, you can see that I already have a publication there. That's my existing publication, but I want to create a new one. So it's the exact same process as we've just been through on the other account. It's just I'm adding a second publication as I already have one set up. So my new publication is going to be called Write with Lisa. I haven't got a mailing list to import, so I'm going to skip that for now. I'm going to skip this bit for now. I'm going to skip this bit for now. Okay, so as you can see, we're back to the same page that we had on the other account, and it's saying Lisa's Substack. I don't want it to be called that. So we're going to go to the settings. So the publication logo has defaulted to my profile picture. I don't want it to be that. So I am still going to use an image of me, because the publication is called Write with Lisa, so I want it to look quite personal. I want people to see my face, but I might change that at a later stage. And of course you can put in a company logo if you prefer. Now I don't want my publication to be called Lisa's Substack, so I'm going to change that. And I've already pre-written a lot of the content, the copy for the pages, because I didn't want you to just have to watch me type. So I'm just going to copy and paste a description that I've already pre-written into there. And then here's where you can choose the category for what your publication is going to be about. So I'm just going to choose business for the primary category, and you can choose a secondary category if you want. So there's quite a few different choices, but they're not that detailed. Okay, so the payments option. So this is where, if you want to have paid subscribers, you connect to your Stripe account. If you don't have a Stripe account already, they're really easy to set up. If you do, then it will take you to your Stripe account, and you can connect your Substack to Stripe. I'm not going to turn on payments yet. I am going to offer a paid subscription, and I'm going to be launching that soon. But what I want to do first is take pledges. Now, what pledges do is they allow people to subscribe, but the payment doesn't come out until you turn on your paid subscriptions. So I'm going to be running an early bird offer for people that subscribe before I launch the paid subscription completely, and that's because I want to have a bit of a period where I can build up some paid subscribers before I start doing all the extra work that's going to come with my paid membership. So I'm going to change this to £, because I'm in pounds, and I'm going to change it to £10 for the month, 100 for the year, and then the founding pledge will be at £200. So my founding pledges will get one-to-ones included. So I'm going to save that. Okay, and then this is where we change our branding. Now, publication word mark is what goes here. If you don't add one, it will just default to a plain title that just says the title of your publication. So this is what my publication looks like at the minute. It's just got the little description that I've put in, it's got my profile picture, and it's saying it's coming soon because I haven't actually written anything yet. And this is just a plain title. If I add the word mark here, you can see that's now changed at the top, and if I click into the publication, it's up there at the top. If you have a word mark, add it, of course. If you don't worry, it will just default to the title, but don't just put a picture there because you want people to see what publication they're reading. You want people to be able to see that. So now we can change the theme of our publication. So if we go here, we can change the branding. So we can pick some colours. Again, you can change the logo and the word mark here if you didn't do it on the previous page. So we want our background to be a different colour, so we can pick various colours. I'll go for orange for now, but I can always change that at a later stage if I want to. And then the accent colour is what your buttons will be. Okay, and then you can change your fonts into whatever font you like. So we'll just go with that for now. We can always change it later. We'll have some plain text like that. And then your links can either be underlined or they can be coloured. I'm going to stick with underlined. I like underlined links. So we'll save that for now. Now we could change the layout of our publication, but as we have no content, it's quite hard to understand what that's actually changing. So I will show you how that works once we've got some content on here so that you can see what it looks like. So back to our settings. So we've got our theme, we've got our word mark. It gives you a QR code that you can use to share your publication. Now you can choose whether you want your author name on the top of your post. So if you've got different authors writing for your publication, you might want to do that. I'm going to keep mine on because I want people to know that it's by me, so I want people to see my name so that they know who they're dealing with. So this is where we edit the site. So when we go into here at the minute, there's not a lot there. There is a generic about page that is just been pre-populated, and then there's notes and there's an archive. What we want to do is make it a bit more personalised. So this is where we do it. So we'll go to the about page first. So I'm going to change that, and I have already written an about page so that you don't have to watch me type. So I'm just going to copy and paste that in. I'm going to leave this bit because I think it's nice to promote the platform, but I'm going to put my own text in here. So now what I need to do is just to make sure that it's come through as I wanted it to, and make sure the headings are the right sizes and that kind of thing. So it looks all right here, but this is where I want to put a button, so I can put in a button there. A little bit about me, so I'm going to add a photo. So there's a photo of me, and then a little bit of a timeline, and then there's another subscribe button there, and then below here I'm going to put in a divider so that it shows that that is different. I'm going to take that out. So I will come back and play with this, but I just wanted to show you sort of how that works. So that's now my about page. I'm going to save that, and it takes me back to my settings. So back down to the website section then. So we've done the about page. Homepage links, that allows you to add links to external sites. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add links to my websites and to my other publications. So the first link I'm going to put in is a link to my Make Your Copy Count website. So that's the title. I've put a subtitle in so people know what it's about. You have to add a group, so I'm going to just call that my sites, and that will come up on my Substack page, and it will put the links that I add to that group underneath it. So I'm going to pop that in there. Next I'm going to add a link to my mentoring page. So again, I've just popped in the title of my website and a subtitle, and I've put it in the same group, and I've added the link there. So if we go to my page now, you'll see that it has added the links here that I've put in. It's got the title, My Sites, which is the group that I put in, and then it's got the websites underneath. Back to the settings again. So we've done our about page. I've added some homepage links. Now we want some navigation buttons on the post. So navigation buttons, that allows you to the readers to skip to the next post. You can choose whether to have those on or off. I'm going to put them on for now. You can always change it later. These aren't relevant at the minute because I'm not adding videos, but if you are adding videos, you can change these settings to be whatever you want. If it's just you that is contributing to the publication, then these aren't really that relevant. The navigation bar, so this is the menu that will be at the top of your publication. So at the minute we have home, notes, archive and about. We can turn these on and off. So if you don't want to show your notes, you can turn that off. If you don't want the archive, you can turn that off. And now you can see there's just the home and the about page. I'm going to leave those off for now because I don't have any notes and I don't have any archive. Custom pages. Now these are pages that you can add yourself. So we're going to create a custom page. So I'm going to add a page. So there we go. I'm just going to move that to here. Okay, so just scan down and make sure that's all formatted correctly, and I want to change some of these to headings so that they stand out a bit more. Now if you haven't pre-written the content, that's fine, you can type straight into the page. So I've put myself a little note there for a button, so I'm going to add a button in there. And then I think I'll have another button at the end. Okay, so we will continue. So we can choose who sees that, so we'll choose everyone because we don't have any paid subscriptions yet. But if we do, then you can show it just to paid subscribers, and then we'll publish. And it takes us back to our settings. Now, if you go on to the publication, you'll notice that the page hasn't appeared there. That's because we need to manually add it into our navigation. So we go back to the settings, we go back down to website, and where we've got this navigation bar, here we can see the page that we've created, monthly write-alongs. So we want to add that to our navigation bar. And you can see it's now appeared there, and we can move it up and down to where you want it. So I'm going to keep it in the middle for now. And you can add as many pages as you want. I am going to add some more, but I'm going to do that at a later stage because it'll get a bit of a boring long video if it's just me adding loads of pages. So custom tags. So these are tags that you can use in your posts so that you can categorize them, and you can use these to add different sections onto your homepage of your publication once you've built up quite a lot of different posts. Welcome page is the page that people see that asks them to subscribe. So if we click through, this is what my welcome page currently looks like. So it's got the name of the subscription and the description that I put in earlier, and then there's a place for people to put their email address in. It's defaulting to my email address, and then you can see there's a little button there that says no thanks. If people click on that, it will take them to the publication. So what we're doing, if we're changing that, we can add an image, so we can have a different image to our profile picture if we want. That currently it's my profile picture and I'm fine with that. If where that little button says no thanks, you can change that. So I quite like let me read it first, because I think people who aren't familiar with Substack might not realise that if they click no thanks, it's going to take them to the publication, whereas this kind of gives them a bit more of an idea of what to expect. So again, if we go back onto that welcome page, you see that's now changed to let me read it first, so people can click through to the publication. So some more settings down here. So this is where you can add referrals, so you can have a referral scheme for people. So for example, if they refer your publication and 3 people subscribe to your publication as a result of their referral, you can give them a reward. That can be an ebook, or it could be, if you do paid subscriptions, it could be a free month or a free year. It could be access to a private channel. It could be a one-to-one. It could be anything, absolutely anything you want it to be. I am going to be using that, but I'm not going to be using it yet, so I'm going to leave that for now. Other settings you've got will have pop-ups and things like that for people to subscribe to your page. You can turn them on and off. And then this is your embeddable subscribe button. If you copy that and put it into your website, it will put a box for people to subscribe to your newsletter into your website. Emails. So this is where you could set up what your emails look like when they go to people. So when my email lands in someone's inbox, at the minute it will say Lisa from Write with Lisa. You can change that to whatever you want. I'm going to put my full name in so that people know it's me. You can email your header and footer, so you can put in stuff that appears just in the emails. An email opt-out page, this is the page that people see after they opt out of your email, so if they unsubscribe. Currently it just says sorry to see you go. You can of course change that to something else. And then the other thing we want to set up is a welcome email to new subscribers. Now you don't have to do this yet because you're not actively recommending your publication yet, but it is something that's nice to do. If you haven't got that pre-written, then you can just use this generic one to start with. So it just says welcome and thanks for signing up, and so on. So again, you can change that, you can edit it, or you can just use this one for a starting point. If you're importing subscribers, you can set up a separate email that goes to those. So it might be that you've already got subscribers to your email and you're setting up the new Substack and you're importing them over and you want to tell them why, so you can email them saying, because you subscribe to X, I've automatically subscribed you to this new version of it, blah blah blah. That is only going to be useful if you're importing subscribers and you want to explain why they're getting emails from a new email address. The community section allows you to decide whether you want people to like, comment and restack your posts. Now, if you want to grow your subscriber numbers, then I would leave that on, because you obviously want people to be able to like your posts and comment on it. And restacking just means like resharing your post, so sharing it with their subscribers. So we want people to do that because we want to get as many people to see our publication as possible. But if you're keeping your Substack private, you might want to turn that off. The chat feature is something that I'm going to be using on my publication, but I'm only going to be using it for paying subscribers, so I'm not going to turn that on just yet. Notes tab. So notes are great. So notes are like little mini posts. So rather than your longer posts, your notes are just little quick updates. I'll show you what that looks like on my existing publication once we've gone through this part. So if you've got a podcast, you can add a podcast, or you can read your newsletter aloud and put that in as a podcast. Sections. Sections are like newsletters within your newsletter. So you can have different sections for your posts, so that when you write a post, you can allocate it to a section. And then the team is if you have multiple people contributing to your publication. Some more settings, notification settings, connect your YouTube account if you've got one. This is where you can add a custom domain if you want to. I haven't, I'm just going to use the one that they've set up for me, which is writewithlisa.substack.com, and that's what my emails will come from. If you want to set up your custom domain, there is a one-off fee of $50. These are some analytic things that you can use if you know how to use those kind of things. And then these are your details, so you will put your name in and then put your mailing address in, and that's what will appear on the bottom of your emails. You can import email addresses if you've already got an existing list. You can import posts if you're moving from a different platform, and you can also export your data. So once you've got some posts on there, you can export data if you want to change to a different publication, or if you just want to save it so that you don't lose any of the hard work that you've done. And then this is the danger zone, so this is the place where you can delete your publication and that kind of thing, so we don't want to do that now. Okay, so that's pretty much all of the settings that we've gone through, so let's have another look at our publication. So we've got 3 pages at the minute. I am going to add some more, but I just wanted to show you how to do that. The next thing we need is some posts on our publication, so we need some content that we can share with people. So at the minute we've just got this little coming soon post, but we don't want that on there, so we need to add some proper content. So if we go to our dashboard, so we'll go to new post. Now this is where you can add a note, which as I said, are like little mini updates. Or you can create your posts that you want to share on your publication. So we're going to go a text post. So again, I have pre-written some content, so I'm just going to add that in for you so that you can see what that will look like. But you can create your content straight into your publication if you prefer. And you can add a subtitle if you want to. And then once I've done that, I can scroll down, make sure I'm happy it's all formatted. And also I'm going to add a little subscribe button at the bottom. And I'm going to use this one, subscribe with caption, because that gives a nice little message there. Thanks for reading, subscribe to receive new posts and support my work. So encouraging people to subscribe to the newsletter. Once we've done that, click on continue. Now, when you publish a post, it will give you the option to send it via email and on the Substack app. If you don't want to send it as an email, you can untick that. And you can also schedule a time to publish, so if you don't want to publish it now, you can do it at a later date. You can choose who reads it, so if you've got paid subscribers, this might be only for your paying subscribers. And you can decide who can comment on it as well, and you can tag it if you've added some tags for different categories of content. I'm going to put an image on there because it looks good on the page if you've got an image. And then I'm going to click on this publish now. And then if you unticked that box about sending via email, it will double check that you have done that correctly, because it will make sure that you are sure that you don't want to send it by email. But for this one, we're going to publish on web only. The post is live. If we go to my publication, there's the post that I've just put on. So you can see that is appearing there. And then as you build more and more posts, they're all going to appear here on your home page for people to see. So you can see our publications starting to come together now. We've got our logo, we've got our word stack, we've got our pages, we can add more pages, we've put a post on there. We've got some links to external sites, but there's not enough on here for you to really see what it looks like. So I'm just going to show you quickly what a publication looks like on Substack and what your publication will look like once you've got more content added to it. So if we go back to the home page then. So this is the home page of Substack. So everyone's will look slightly different. It will have different recommendations based on whatever you've put in as your interests. You can filter by looking at the different categories at the top, and it will show you different things relating to those categories. When you do subscribe to publications on Substack, they will show in this little section here, which is your inbox. So this is publications that I have subscribed to, and it's showing me the latest posts. You've also got the option for paid, so it will show you any paid subscriptions that you have, so you can just filter by that if you're only interested in the content that you're paying for. And this is where all the different publications will show. So this is my other publication, New Brew Thursday, which I'm subscribed to because it's my publication. So I'm just going to show you what that one looks like. So that's the home of New Brew Thursday. So as you can see, this publication is quite a simple setup and it's quite plain. I've just used a white background. I don't have a word stack, it's just the title of the publication. But you'll notice there's quite a lot more pages in the navigation bar. So the notes that I was telling you about earlier, these are like your little mini updates. So these are little updates that I've just put on over the days, just telling people what I'm drinking, sharing a video. I've reshared a post that I've written, and various other little notes. So they're quite nice little updates that you can send to people without having to write long detailed articles. Then I've also got my New Brew networking page. Now New Brew networking is just a page that I've created, as I did on the setup when I created the ride-alongs page, and this is just about my networking events, and you can click through to view the dates and sign up. The about page, I've changed this, I've personalised it to make it a little bit more about me. And then these other pages here, these are sections as opposed to pages. And what that means is that whenever I create a post, I can allocate it to a section and it will appear in that section. So for example, every month I do a top 5 post. So as you can see, all the top 5 posts appear in this section. So that allows your readers to search content by the different categories that you've got. So I've got city guides here, so these are ones about city guides. So you can include those sections in your menu like I have there, and then you can also include them further down on your page, so you can have sections on your page for those sections. And they don't have to be categories of posts. They could be things like types of posts. It could be text posts, videos, podcasts. It could be by author, so if you've got lots of different people contributing to your publication, it could be done by the different names of the people who are contributing. It could be the different types of updates. If you've got if you do slightly different things, you can have like daily posts, weekly roundups, monthly articles. It could be anything you want, so you can split those by any kind of categories that you want. So when we were doing the setup of the new publication, we looked at the different layouts that you could have, but obviously it didn't change it very much because we didn't have much content on there. So I'm just going to show you how that looks when you are changing it on your on a publication with more posts. So we go to our dashboard and then our settings, and we go down to branding. So we're going to edit the theme, and this is where we change the background and everything like that. If we wanted to put a bit more colour on it, do a slightly darker background, and can add a word mark which would go there in place of the title. I'm going to leave that as it is, and then I'm going to go to the home page bit. Now if I turn off these advanced layouts, there we go, these are the different styles of newsletter you can have. So as you can see from this is just got the latest post at the top, and then some other posts underneath it. It's got a little subscribe button there, some recommendations, and then it's got my links in there. These are the different layouts you can have. So this is newspaper, so you can have that as a list underneath, or you can have it as a grid underneath. So a few different layouts. The magazine layout is similar to the newspaper, but you don't have the list at the side, but you could have it underneath if you prefer. Media, so that just features the one at the top, and then the rest are underneath, and again you can have a list or a grid. And then highlight does the main one to the left, and then the latest ones at the side, and then some more underneath. If you want to customize it a bit further, that's where you would add these advanced layouts in. So that's where I have got a section for recent posts, and then I've got my links at the side there. So as you can see, I've done it by recent posts. I've got 2 rows, and then I've got the links at the side. You can cut that down if you only want 1 row. And then underneath that I have this section, so it says subscribe for monthly updates, and it's got a subscribe button. People who are already subscribed, the message would just read cheers. Then underneath that I've got another grid, so this one I've done by section, and I've done the section of city guides, and then below that I've done New Brew battles, so it just talks through a few of the latest battles that we've done. And then I've got another subscribe button at the bottom, but this time I haven't put a message in. So you can see here at the side the different sections that I've got, and you can customize these, so you can show it as a grid, or you can have it as a list, and you can have your title in the middle or to the side, or you can have a featured post if you want to do it that way. So you can do that for each of your different sections. So hopefully that explains in enough detail how to set up a publication on Substack and how to get your publication out there. So you can play around with the themes, you can play around with the layout, you can add pages, you can add sections, you can add tags. So there's different ways that you can make your publication yours and customize it and make it look like your own. And then once you have your different publications, you can switch between them and add the content as and when you have it. I'd love to hear from you once you've set your publication up, or if you do have any questions while you're setting it up, do let me know. I'll be more than happy to answer them, and I look forward to seeing all the different things that you come up with. Thanks for watching.